County Clare, tucked into Ireland's rugged western coast, holds a near mythical place in the world of traditional Irish music. Known for its deep well of sessions, signature fiddle sound, and its role as a creative epicentre, Clare isn't just part of Ireland's musical heritage, it's one of the anchors of it. But what exactly makes the Clare style so iconic? How has it shifted over time, shaped by culture, technology, and modern life? And where is it headed next? We're about to dig into the roots and the rhythms of this tradition, its history, defining traits, major players, and the ongoing push and pull between preservation and change. What emerges is a portrait of a style that's grounded yet flexible, local but globally influential, a tradition that evolves without letting go of what made it powerful in the first place. Clare has a reputation as being the home of traditional music, specifically in Doolin in the northwest of the county. This is not something about pride or tourism brochures. The county genuinely pulses with musical energy. It has more musicians and more events than any other part of Ireland. Ennis, the county town, is widely seen as the session capital of the country. Music isn't something that happens on the side in Clare, it's absolutely everywhere. Local radio stations like Clare FM give it serious airtime. Festivals like Fleadh Nua, the Ennis Trad Fest, and the Willie Clancy Summer School bring in crowds from every corner of the world. Clare has built a scene that's both rooted and constantly renewed. But being a flagship for tradition isn't always easy. That status can always stir up a little bit of rivalry and tension with other regions. Still, Clare's sheer density of players, sessions, and events mean there's a kind of critical mass. A living, breathing culture that continues to redefine itself from the inside. Let's have a look at what makes it Clare. If one sound captures the heart of Clare music, it's the fiddle. And it's kind of the same in all the other regions too. And not just any fiddling, there's a certain quality here, often called the lonesome touch. It's hard to describe in words, but unmistakable when you hear it. Slow, spacious, emotional, not flashy, not hurried, just rich with feeling. So I want you to have a little listen to this clip, right? This will absolutely sum up the Clare regional style. And I'm going to compare it to a clip from Tommy Peoples to show you the contrasting style from Clare and Donegal, right? Have a listen to Martin Hayes and how he slides up between notes on the fiddle. And that is a unique feature from the music of this area. Meanwhile, when you listen to Tommy Peoples, he does short bowing, and that gives the notes very quick cut. Have a listen to both of them and see if you can spot the differences between them both. Some of the hallmarks: slower tempos that lean into expression, bowing that breathes, shaping each phrase like a voice, ornamentation like the rolls, slides, grace notes that deepen the texture, and they have a love for darker keys like G minor, D minor, and even tuning the fiddle down to get that extra bit of resonance. A flexible approach to pitch, with sliding notes and in-between tones that give it a haunting bluesy edge. Nobody captured this better than Paddy Canny, whose East Clare style became the gold standard. His playing had weight and presence, but also subtlety. He could suggest whole stories in a single tune. Later, Martin Hayes, who I'm an absolute massive fan of, took that legacy to a global audience, stretching melodies into meditative explorations and showing that slowness, when done right, can be utterly compelling. His long bows, signature double rolls, they all put emotion front and centre. Across the county, sub-styles still matter. East Clare, like with players like Canny and Hayes themselves, leans into that introspective, expressive tone. West Clare, with names like Bobby Casey and Junior Crehan, played with more pulse and lift, but always with detail and depth. While instrumental music dominates the scene, Clare's song tradition runs deep. Today, most songs are in English, thanks to the historical decline of Irish in the region and across the country, but that hasn't dulled their power. Ballads here tend to be rooted in life. Stories of emigration, farming, love, loss, politics. These songs carry memory, and they're often tied to specific places and real people. Collectors like Tom Munnelly preserved this treasure trove, and singers like Tom Lenihan and Nora Cleary gave it voice. Clare also has a flair for songwriting. Singers like Robbie McMahon and Tim Dennehy added new works that blend humour, insight and commentary into traditional forms. The Fleadh down in Ennis, for example, is as much a social record as it is entertainment. Today, the song tradition is a bit more under the radar than instrumental music, but it is still alive, especially in singing weekends, festival sessions and private gatherings. Unaccompanied songs, sometimes in sean-nós style, remains prized for its raw emotional pull. Dance isn't just an offshoot of music in Clare. It's core to the tradition. Set dances like the Plain Set, Lancers and Caledonian have long been part of the county's rhythm of life, passed down by travelling dance masters and brought to life at house dances and local fairs. In the 20th century, the rise of céilí bands changed everything. Bands like the Kilfenora and Céilí bands became institutions, with Clare groups dominating national competitions. These bands didn't just play for dancers, they became cultural symbols, blending tight rhythm with regional flair and helping solidify a collective identity. Even today, the dance music link keeps Clare's style grounded. It keeps the beat alive. Traditionally, Clare music was passed on by ear, not just Clare, across Ireland, Irish music is passed down by ear. And Martin Hayes has a brilliant video about this, and if you are trying to learn music by ear, you should have a look at this clip.
The teaching of these tunes follows a format. It's a format that I experienced when I was first learning from my father. He sat across from me, he played the tune, I listened, then he played each phrase slowly, and I tried to look at what he was doing and listen what he was doing, and then just simply tried to follow along, and he would repeat that phrase long enough for me to kind of catch up with it.
And this is absolutely key to why regional styles exist throughout the country. As Clare's music evolved into the late 20th century, so too did the way it was passed down. Formal instruction started to emerge through organisations like Comhaltas Ceoltóirí Éireann and the Willie Clancy Summer School. These brought structure, like lessons and workshops, competitions, and opened up the tradition to wider audiences. Music that was once passed ear to ear in kitchens and pubs now had classrooms and syllabi. There were upsides to this. There was more access, more visibility, and stronger connections across counties and countries. But not everyone embraced it without caution. Some felt that formal education risked sanding down the regional quirks, the tiny, soulful differences that gave Clare's style its edge. But fortunately, voices like Martin Hayes continued to champion personal expression over perfection, reminding students that the feel of a tune matters more than ticking all the boxes. Then came the digital revolution, and with it, a seismic shift. YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, podcasts. Suddenly, a Clare fiddle tune could reach ears in Tipperary, Tokyo or Toronto even. Within minutes, exposure exploded, but with it came a new tension, the risk of flattening out regional identity. When one standout player became the global face of Clare, there's a danger that people miss the wide spectrum of styles and personalities beneath the surface. Still, the internet's impact hasn't been all distortion. Far from it even. Live-streamed sessions, digital archives and video tutorials have helped preserve nuance and deepen appreciation. A well-made podcast or blog can spark interest in local history. A field recording shared online can inspire someone halfway around the world. If the old world passed tunes hand to hand, the new one shares them screen to screen. Different method, but the same spirit. The musical community in Clare looks different than it did 50 years ago. There's more diversity, more visitors and more movement. But the community spirit, the glue, is still there. Local session leaders, teachers and organisers remain essential in holding it all together. The regional style from Clare, along with all the other regional styles across the country, they're not just a checklist of features like we said. They're a language of expression rooted in the place and the memory of the country. I mentioned in the Sleeve Looker video there that it's the people rather than the area that passes on the unique styles. So when we think about regional styles, your mind fixes on the geography, but keep in mind that it's the people and the teachers who are responsible for passing on these unique styles. And if you yourself, you're listening to this here, if you care about music, whether as a player, a listener, or a supporter, there are some things you can do. You can show up at festivals and sessions. You can support music schools and youth programs. You can help document and share stories. And most of all, you can stay curious, stay engaged, and help others hear the real depth behind the style. Clare's regional style is not a relic. It continues to evolve, as with the other styles, and influence musicians both locally and around the world. It represents a living tradition shaped by the community's experience, and intergenerational learning. Whether performed in a small local session or on a global stage even, this music retains the power to engage, connect, and communicate shared cultural values. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a like, hit that subscribe button as well, and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear from you. Check out the description below as well, where you can find various links to our Discord community, our shop, and a few more resources if you want to dig deeper. And a huge shout out to our one and only channel member, Kathleen McGee, holding it down like a true legend. If you'd like to join the channel and support more videos like this, hit the join button there. You'll get a few extra perks and you'll be helping me keep this project going strong. I'd really appreciate the help. But anyway, look, that's enough from me. I hope you all have a great day. Slán go fóill. Cheers.